What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here with the week's hottest topics. This is for the week of January 24th through January 29th. A lot has happened this week. A lot has happened. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into what's trending this week. Now, before we even discuss that, I do want to let you guys know that I will be adding a new show to review. If you guys don't know, I really like more scripted shows than I do reality TV. So we're adding a new scripted show. We are going to be adding WandaVision, which is on Disney Plus. I'm thinking I'm gonna do the WandaVision review tomorrow, Saturday, which would be Saturday. Yeah, so look for that if you guys are interested in it. So without further ado, let's talk about the hot topics of this week, shall we? All right, you guys. So the first thing that I want to talk about this week is nothing political on the agenda. So let's talk about the verses that happened last week. Did you guys tune in to the verses with Keisha Cole and Ashanti? I did. I don't know why. Because after the first two times that it was canceled, it was just like, really? Why do I want to see this now? I mean, y'all have canceled. The first time I understood it, Ashanti had COVID. Then the second time they canceled it, it was after the Capitol riots. I didn't understand that. I was like, okay. I guess because the country was at unrest. So I guess I can understand that a little bit. So then we got this last one, and it went back to what it was before, like with Teddy Riley and Babyface, which was horrendous. Who else did? Teddy Riley and Babyface. Who else did One at Home? Who else did One at Home? T-Pain and Lil Jon did One at Home. Theirs was good. I think Jagged Edge and was it 112? That one I did not watch. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. That one I didn't watch. Who else did it? Who else has done a versus at home? That's all I can think about right now. But yeah, I went back to being at home. I was like, oh, this is gonna come with a bunch of crap. And lo and behold, it did. Honestly, to be honest with you guys, I actually forgot about the verses until I saw that verses was live. I'm like, oh, Ashanti and Keisha Cole. So I clicked in it. Nothing. You hear the DJ. I'm like, okay, this is typical for the verses. They're never on time. I don't understand why they're never on time. They hit go live, but they're never ready. That's the same thing that happened with Brandy and Monica. Brandy and Monica, they hit go live, and Brandy and Monica were in the same, building in Tyler Perry's studio, and it wasn't ready. They weren't ready. So that's like one of my biggest pet peeves in this world. That is a big pet peeve of mine, is my time. Please don't waste my time. Because if you waste my time, you got a really pissed off person. Like, I'm someone, if you tell me to be somewhere at a certain time, I'm going to be there. Like if you say, meet me somewhere at 10 o'clock, I'm like, cool. I'm going to wake up because it takes me a while to get ready. So I wake up about 8:30 in the morning. Get my clothes together, brush my teeth, wash my face, all that stuff. Get ready. So I'm doing that, and I'm ready no later than 9 o'clock in the morning. So by 9 o'clock, I'm just chilling, probably watching TV, and I'm gonna, depending on if where I'm meeting you at is maybe 5 minutes away from me, I'm gonna leave the house about. Actually, especially in Dallas with the traffic, I'm gonna leave early so that way I can be there at least 10 to 5 minutes ahead of time. So that way I'm on time. But like I said, I just hate when people waste my time. So this versus with Keisha Cole and Ashanti, it started an hour and 30 minutes later? Because I think my time was supposed to start at 7 o'clock, but it didn't end up starting until after 8. And then when it did start, we saw Shanti. She looked cute. They actually both looked beautiful. The one thing I will say is Keisha Cole, whatever she was wearing, her tits, that dress, it's like, girl, you didn't even secure them, because, you keep having to pull up on it. It's just like every time you see her, she's pulling, and when she tries to stand up, she's pulling to make sure she doesn't have a nip slip. But when Keisha Cole finally did come on the screen, she had a terrible attitude. I'm like, well, damn, you late, but you come on camera with this stank-a-dank attitude. And I know a few days ago, her DJ was talking about the reasons that she didn't come on camera, because, she didn't like the way her camera looked. She didn't, I'm like, but, yeah. So here's my thing with verses. Here's the thing. Since y'all knew that this was happening, why didn't y'all do like a test run or something? Like, I don't know how y'all could have done that, but make sure before, you go live, make sure everything is working properly. Your internet connection is good. Your camera is good. Make sure everything is set up. And then she was also complaining about the fact that, she couldn't stand up because the camera was so close. Well, why not ask people in your team to say, push the camera back a little bit or move your chair back? Like, she had an attitude. She had a terrible attitude. And that was really what was it for me. So then a few days later, she came out and said, what, because she said she was sitting there the entire time. So the entire time that we sit here waiting for you, you on the other side of the camera, like, that's rude as hell to me. I'm sorry, but that's rude and disrespectful to people's time. Like, if that was a concert, like we always talk about Lauryn Hill, I would have left. Like, this makes me, I really do miss going to concerts. Actually, I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm like, what is the last concert that I went to? And then I thought about it. I'm like, oh God, that was literally the last concert I went to. Actually, it was The Weeknd. I will never go see The Weeknd in concert again in my life. That was the worst. He has great music, but to sell out an arena, I don't know how the hell he did it. I really don't, because he is boring. I fell asleep. I got a contact high, and that was the best part of the concert. The contact high, not him. No shade to anybody who likes The Weeknd. If you guys like him, you guys like him, but he's not for me. My best friend, she wanted me and another one of our friends to go to the concert. When I went, because I didn't have nothing else to do, so I was like, it's fine, might as well go. But yeah, I would never pay to go see The Weeknd ever again in my life. Never, ever, 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 ever will I pay to go see him again. But the verses, it was overall, it was cool. I was reminiscing on the songs that they were playing. Ashanti, she was just singing like she just is singer. But I'm like, hey, if you feeling the vibe and the music, go ahead and go for it. Now the thing that got me was they took a break. I'm like, why y'all taking a break? This is an hour and 30 minutes past when y'all was supposed to start. What y'all taking a break for? And then they couldn't even say who was going first. In the first round, Keisha went, but she wanted Ashanti to go. Ashanti said, no, you go. Then, I don't know if Keisha wasn't paying attention. I don't know what Keisha was thinking. Because Keisha said she wanted to end the first round. And Ashanti was like, cool, you can end the first round. But Keisha went and played song number 11. And Ashanti was like, okay, well, if she playing song number 11, give me another song. And then Keisha was like, well, I thought I was supposed to stop in this. Do you not know how this works? You the one that's been one of these verses for God knows how long. You start the round. You start it and you end it. So you should have ended it at number 10. When you play number 10, you should have been like, okay, we done right here. But when she played number 11, she didn't want Ashanti to come back with her song number 11. I'm like, that would kind of mess up the rounds, but whatever. And Keisha was drunk as hell too. She was really drunk. But yeah, that verses was just terrible. I mean, it was funny, but it was cringeworthy at the same time. Very, very cringeworthy. What else? OT Genesis. He made an appearance. Now I know Neffy had something to say. I didn't really see what Neffy had to say about OT Genesis. I didn't look too deep into that. What else with the verses? The fact that when Keisha Cole was playing a song, I don't know if the IFB was. I think that might have been what the issue was. The IFBs in their ear. Because I know at one point, because they kept talking to each other, and I know at one point Ashanti kept talking about she couldn't hear. And then you could see Ashanti talking to people in the background. I don't know. I know at one point Ashanti was pointing to her ear. So I know at one point it was the IFB. But then the other times, I don't know what was going on. Because she was talking to people. And then Keisha was doing the same thing. Keisha was... It's like, are y'all paying attention to the other person? But yeah. And then another, they're talking about, doing another versus. They want to do Justin Timberlake versus Usher. No, I'm not here for it. Because versus is like, nah, not here for it. Usher would knock Justin Timberlake out the water. Like, burn. Confessions. What else we got? My Way. Nice and Slow. The list goes on. Up in This Club. What else? Trading Places. What else? Like, you see, the list keeps going on and on and on and on. Like, I can give you a few Justin Timberlake hits. Cry Me a River. What is that song with the clips? That's my favorite song by Justin Timberlake. But yeah, Usher would kill Justin Timberlake. But let me know what you guys think about it. Would you guys like it? And I know that they branched off and did NFL sports. I will say for me, I don't think that they did a good promotion for it. Because I was driving the other day and I saw that, Versus had went live. I'm like, Versus? I'm like, who they got? And then I clicked on it and I saw Deion Sanders. I'm like, oh, this is the NFL version. And it was pretty cool. I actually really did like it. It was cool. They were showing highlights of, football players. I'm like, this is cool. But I don't know how long this is going to go for. I don't know if this is just in conjunction with the Super Bowl, which I literally had no idea. I forgot all about the Super Bowl, which is happening on February 7th, I believe that's when it is. Let me check my calendar real quick. Yes, February 7th. So it's not this weekend. It's not this Sunday. It's next Sunday. Are you guys watching the Super Bowl? Let me know in the conversations about that as well. Who do you guys have? Do you guys have the Chiefs? Who are they playing? I have no idea. See, 2020, I didn't keep up with any kind of sports, and I love sports. Didn't keep up with not a one sport. Even with the NBA, that's what I love. I love basketball more than anything, and I watched a few games in the bubble, but I didn't watch that many. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about all the things that we just discussed. Let me know. Let's move on. All right, you guys. Next, this is like I said earlier in the video, this has been a rough week. When I say rough, I mean rough. So we got a few, people to say rest in peace to, and it's a total of 1, 2, 3, and 4. The fourth one, man, caught me off guard. So the first person that, the first name that I remember from last week that person passed away was CNN's Larry King. Now, we had heard later in last year that Larry King, he had COVID. Now, I don't know if that's the cause of death with Larry King. Man, I think about, everybody that has passed this year and last year so far, every person but talked about rest in peace to, especially people in the older, up there in age. Most of them, I could tell you stories about how I used to watch them with either my mom or grandmother. And Larry King is no exception. My mom, at one point, she used to watch Fox News before, President Obama got into office. She used to watch Fox News and CNN, respectively. But once President Obama got into office and the way that they would, on Fox News, the way that they would berate him and stuff, she was like, what, I can't watch this anymore. So she just fully went to CNN. So we would watch CNN. We would watch Don Lemon. She loved Don Lemon. She would watch Larry King Live. And I would be in her room and we would watch, all of them together. So, it's just, he's a TV icon. And when I saw that Larry King died, I'm like, what? Like, nah, come on. But I mean, he was a man of a certain age. He was 87 years old. So yeah, rest in peace to Larry King. And then also last week, baseball legend Hank Aaron passed away. And people were trying to speculate that he passed away due to COVID as well. But his people came out and said, no, he just passed away in his sleep. I didn't get how old he was. And then another legend that died was Cloris Leachman. And I'm like, wow, we are just losing our legends left and right. Like 2021 is kind of being reminiscent of 2020, because I mean, we started 2020 off with the death of Kobe and Gigi and, the rest of the people that were on that plane with them, which we just hit a year this week. Can't believe it's been a year. So yeah, rest in peace to Cloris Leachman. Like I said, I didn't get how old she was. Now, the death that really rocked me to my core. So last night when I was out, I was on social media and I saw, people talking about, giving their condolences to Cicely Tyson. And I'm like, Cicely Tyson? I'm like, she isn't dead. I'm like, she didn't die. When did she die? And I saw an article. I'm like, this has got to be a hoax. I'm like, Cicely Tyson is not dead. And then lo and behold, she had passed away at 96 years old. Man, Cicely Tyson was a legend, an icon. Wow. It's just hard to believe that Cicely Tyson is gone, and it's interesting. The last thing that I saw Cicely Tyson in was How to Get Away with Murder last year. And, she was 96 years old. She worked up until the end. And actually, she just released a memoir this week. Like I said, she lived to be 96 years old. That is a testament in itself. 96. That is a true testament. Cicely Tyson actually, when I look at her, I would look at her, she kind of, she reminds me a little bit of my great grandmother. And my great grandmother lived to be 109 years old. She would have been 110 on her birthday. If I could live to be even 91 years old, I'll be happy. So yeah, rest in peace to the legend, the icon, Cicely Tyson. Yeah. So yeah, rest in peace to all of them. Rest in peace to Larry King, Cicely Tyson, Cloris Leachman, and Hank Aaron. You guys will be dearly missed. Well, let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys, next, let's discuss Trey Songz. What is going on with him? Oh my God! So he was at one of the playoff game last week. I think it was the Bills versus the Chiefs. So he was there. So I'm gonna read this. He was arrested following a physical altercation with law enforcement at the Kansas City Chiefs football game. So I saw the video. Oh my God, he had that man in a headlock. I was like, he had the man in a headlock, and then he didn't have a mask on. I'm like, wait a minute, where's the mask at? Like, oh, I mean, Trey Songz was giving that man the business. I really felt bad for him. He was giving the man the business. And it took other law enforcement to come and break it up. Man. So it says the outlet reported that witnesses claimed that prior to being approached by the officer, Songz was being heckled by others in the stands and asked him to be quiet. Witnesses then claimed the officer approached him and allegedly got physical with the singer without warning. Now that is fucked up. Like, why would you get physical with someone without any warning? Like, I don't, and that's the thing I don't like. You know, I have respect for the cops and everything like that, but if a person is being peaceful with you, that's the grievance when it comes to black people and the cops. It's kind of like going back to what happened with the Capitol. Those people stormed the Capitol, and very little was done to any of them. You know, like we saw that one old lady being escorted down the stairs. She just stormed into the Capitol building. I guess she's an elderly woman, but come on, grandma's not that old to not know right from wrong. So you're gonna escort grandma down, but when it comes to something like somebody else just being, you know, is not being combative or anything, you put your hands on them. So I don't, you know, so according to what witness is saying, if the man, you know, the witnesses, like I said, the witnesses also claimed that the altercation was they claimed it was self-defense on Trey Songz' part. So, I mean, can I blame Trey? No, I can't. Because if you put your hands on me unwarranted, you finna get a justified ass whooping. Like, you finna get beat. Like, it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you put your hands on me, and I'm like, man, because when it comes to the cops, you know, you just respect them. You know, because they got a gun, they got a bat. I don't know if this man had a gun or whatever, but you just you know, say, hey, whatever you want me to do, if you want me to leave, I got you. But then if you come at me and you start hitting me, well, trust and believe, the gloves are coming off. I'm gonna knock you out. So I don't blame, like I said, I don't blame Trey Songz at all. Like it says right here, witnesses then claimed the officer approached him, but it says allegedly got physical with the singer without warning. I guess they're trying to say that to keep from a lawsuit. But yeah, if you put your hands on me and it's unwarranted, just know that a fight comes with it. Just know that. So Trey Songz was reportedly arrested for trespassing. How was he trespassing? I guess, how was he trespassing? Because if he bought a ticket to the game, he's not trespassing. Now, if the officer asked him to, okay, that's probably what it is. If the officer asked him to leave and he didn't leave, then yes, that is trespassing. But again, like I said, it is alleged that the officer put his hands on him without warning. So does that still constitute trespassing? But yeah, he was arrested for trespassing, resisting arrest, and assaulting a police officer. Now that part. So I mean, we'll keep an eye on this story and see where it goes. Have you guys saw his mugshot, by the way? That mugshot. I was so confused by that mugshot. I've never saw a mugshot like that before. I've never saw a mugshot as interesting as Trey Songz' mugshot. So yeah, let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. Now this next story is horrific to me. So Chad Wheeler, he was arrested early Saturday morning after police were called to an apartment by a woman who said there was a physical fight involving her boyfriend. She was hiding in the bathroom when she called the police and said she was being killed. Interesting choice of words. She was hiding in the bathroom when she called the police and said she was being killed. Interesting choice of words, but okay. So the details of what allegedly occurred are horrific. The woman told police that the alleged incident began suddenly when Wheeler asked her to stand and bow to him. Oh no. Oh no. He asked her to stand and bow to him. Oh wow. So when she refused, the 6'7", 310-pound Wheeler allegedly attacked her, throwing her on a bed and strangling her with one hand while trying to smother her with the other. He is 6'7" and 310 pounds. Lord Jesus. So it says when she tried to fight back, she said he grabbed her arm and twisted it. Oh. And she later lost consciousness for an unknown amount of time. When she awoke, Wheeler was allegedly near the bed and said, "Wow, you're alive?" This story gets worse and worse as I read. The woman ran to the bathroom, locked the door, and called the police and family. Wheeler picked the lock, went into the bathroom, and began to apologize, which is where he was when police forced their way into the apartment. An incident report said that the woman's face was bloodied and one arm was hanging limply by her side when police found her on the bathroom floor. Oh, God. Again, the story just gets worse and worse the more I read into it. So, Wheeler was initially uncooperative with police and arrested on a felony charge. The woman was brought to a local hospital with a dislocated arm and other injuries. So it says Wheeler left King County Jail on Tuesday morning after posting bond. His bail was set at $400,000. The Seahawks' Wednesday statement makes it clear they just want to move on and wash their hands of it all, saying they're saddened, not horrified or shocked or disgusted. Wow. They're saddened. You're not appalled. You're not disgusted. You're not mortified. You're not shocked, disgusted, repulsed. None of that stuff. You're just saddened. And I'm going to go back and read what this says. I'm going to read it one more time. So, where we start at. So, Wheeler wanted this woman, and by the way, he's a white man, and she's black. I have a problem with that. Number one, especially reading this first part, where he wanted her to bow to him. So is that that's a submissive slave way, I guess you want to say? He wanted her to bow to him. She refused to him. This man is 6'7", 310 pounds. I don't know how much this woman weighs, and I don't know how tall she is, but I'm pretty sure she's a lot shorter and a lot smaller than he is. So he attacked her. He threw her to a bed. He strangled her. He was trying to smother her. Then when she tried to fight back, she said he grabbed her arm. He twisted it. She lost consciousness for an unknown amount of time. And when she awoke, he was at the bed. And he said, "Wow, you're alive." But the Seahawks, you guys are saddened by this. Saddened by the fact that a white man asked a black woman to bow to him. She said no. Then he attacked her. He strangled her. He was trying to smother her. When she fought back, he twisted her arm and she lost consciousness. And then when she woke up, he said, "Oh, you're still alive." I have a lot of issues with that. They're saddened. They're saddened. They're not mortified, horrified, appalled, shocked, disgusted, dismayed. The list can go on of words that I could use to describe this. That is disgusting. That is deplorable. That is atrocious. That is despicable. That is, again, the list can go on and on, but you guys choose to use the word saddened. Okay. Saddened by the details emerging against Wheeler. So they say that he's no longer part of the team since his contract ended with the conclusion of the 2020 season. But I have heard that he's a free agent. I literally hope that nobody wants to attach themselves to that man. I mean, I know he said that, he had a manic episode, But if you know that you have, if you know that you are diagnosed with bipolar disorder, you need to take your medication. And if your medication is not working that well, go back to your doctor and get them to, change your dosage. Like, number one, like I said, I don't, I'm gonna take the whole black white thing out of it. That's just what bothered me, but I'm gonna take the whole black and white thing out of it. That I'm gonna take out of it. You're a man asking this woman to bow to you. No woman should ever have to bow to a man. This is not, the medieval times where, people had to bow, you bow to the kings and queens and stuff like that. This is not that. And then when the woman told you no, that she's not going to bow to you, you should have just said, okay. Now, if you guys were in a role-playing mode, that's different. But from this, you guys are not in a role-playing mode. And even if you guys are in a role-playing mode and she's like, right now, I don't want to do that, or I'm not feeling that, honor what she says and respect what she says. Don't then attack this woman, dislocate her arm, try to strangle her, try to smother her, and then when you notice that the woman, she's actually still alive, you didn't kill her. See, that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to kill her. When you realize that she's alive, don't say, oh, wow, you're still alive? That is disgusting. Literally disgusting. Oh. My prayers are with that young lady. And I hope he does. I hope they throw the book in him, honestly. I mean, I know he says, like I said, I know manic, he said he had a manic episode, but that doesn't excuse that. That does not excuse anything. Like I said, if you know that if you knew your medication wasn't working, then you should have been talking to your doctor about getting a stronger dosage. It's just that simple. But yeah, you guys, we're gonna move on to the next story and stop talking about this one. All right, you guys. So the next story that I'm gonna talk about is this T.I. and Tiny versus the lady from Glam University. At first, I didn't know too much about this story. I did see yesterday on Instagram that Shekinah had chimed into it. I'm like, girl, please stay out of this. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Are they even still cool with Shekinah these days? Because I don't ever see her. I very rarely see her with them. So let me know if you guys know what's going on with them. So this says that the Atlanta-based entrepreneur who created the Glam University recounted objecting to Tiny being treated like a slave by T.I.'s assistant and was punished for it. Oh God, this story is just about as bad as the last one. Oh my God. So it says earlier this week, a former friend of T.I.'s wife, why she got to be T.I.'s wife? I'm not saying that. Earlier this week, a former friend of Tiny's accused T.I. of him pulling a gun to her head. Her name is Sabrina Peterson. She posted her side of the story on social media, and Tiny came to her husband's defense. I mean, Tiny's gonna forever stay with that fool. I don't know why, because I heard allegedly that he may have been messing with the assistant, and the assistant wasn't was disrespectful to Tiny. Again, she sits around and puts up with that mess from him. Would not be me. But if she likes it, what do? I love it. So now, after all this stuff happened, like I said, the woman, and it's actually, I saw, what she posted on Instagram. I didn't copy it because I don't want to read it because it was really lengthy. But after, she said what she said, Tiny came back out, and then the woman, I think she made another statement, but now T.I. and Tiny are being accused of sex trafficking and forcing women to do drugs. So after Sabrina shared her story, multiple women reportedly shared their stories about T.I. with her. And according to the messages Sabrina shared, a woman claims Tiny made her pop a Molly and engage in sexual acts. Multiple alleged messages claim Tiny is the ringleader. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That story just went left. So not only is she being treated like a slave by his assistant, she's the ringleader, allegedly, in this sex trafficking and forcing women to do drugs. Yeah, I didn't expect for that story to go so bad left. It went left fast. We just gonna ease on out of this room and move to the next one. Yeah, these next few stories are just terrible, so let's just exit stage left. All right, you guys, so the next story. This one is just stupidity at its finest. Now, I have been seeing all week about this girl named Danny Lee. I don't really know too much about the girl, so I can't tell you who she is. I can't tell you what she does. All I can tell you is I just heard about this song that she made about it's called Yellowbone. And I was like, okay, Yellowbone. I don't see nothing wrong with that. But then when I heard the song, first of all, the song is trash. That's number one. The song is trash as hell. It sounded like something a 3-year-old would make. I'm like, this can't be real. Even if you mix and mastered that song, it would still be terrible. But then when you look at Danny Lee, she's a fair-skinned lady. And I'm like, does she identify as black or anything? But then even if she is a black woman, in the community, in the black community, we know that that's an issue in our community. The whole issue of light skin versus dark skin. That's colorism. And I was like, okay. And then when I really did listen to the song, I'm like, wait a minute. So she's dating the baby. She's dating the baby. And then I was like, oh, she's saying he prefers a yellow bone. And I'm like, oh, she's coming at the baby mama. I'm like, oh, wow. I'm like, this is not good. But then when I started hearing, seeing people getting upset and saying that she's not black, I'm like, oh, that's even worse. And then, she tried to come back and defend why she did it. I'm like, first of all, that's problematic enough in the black community. And then you don't even consider yourself black, and you're using this term, yellowbone. Problematic is the understatement with that. Yellowbone. But if you guys have heard that song, it was horrible. Horrible. Me as a black man, I couldn't be with nobody who just with me, who can say the most disgusting thing. I can't even chalk it up to just willful ignorance. I can't even chalk it up to willful ignorance. I really can't. I was gonna say, she's just ignorant, but I can't even really just chalk it up to that. It just wasn't a good look. Ugh. Let me know what you guys thought about that. Let's move on to the last story. All right, you guys, the last story of the day. Man, the Jbarrett family. This family has so many issues with them, stemming from drugs, alcohol, and so many other things. So, Chico Jbarrett was busted in Burbank, and this comes from TMZ. He was busted in Burbank when he was pulled over near a shopping center on January 13th. Cops say he was driving without his headlights on at night and didn't have a license plate. Wow. You ain't got no headlights on and then you ain't got no license plate. You were asking for somebody to pull you over with that kind of stuff. So the Burbank PD tells them Chico didn't have an ID. Damn. You riding dirty. You ain't got no license plate and you ain't got no headlights on. Dude, again, you were asking for somebody to pull you over, huh? So yeah, he had no ID, but he identified himself as his brother, James. So according to police, Chico was driving with 2 female passengers and cops found methamphetamines and heroin on him during a search. Damn. That is a hell of an addiction. I really hope and pray for that family that God heals them. Because like I said, drugs and alcohol has run rampant in that family. Oh, we're gonna pray for them. We really are. So yeah, they found methamphetamines and heroin on him during the search. He was arrested, and they were told he was properly ID'd during the booking process. So Chico has been charged with drug possession, DUI, and yes, cops hit him with a false impersonation charge for the alleged brother act. So I'm guessing probably when they got him in, did the fingerprints, because that's probably what it was, his fingerprints. They ran his fingerprints, and I'm like, oh, nah, brother. Who are you again? Did you say you were James? Nah, this says that you're Chico. So, yeah. On top of that drug bust that we got, on top of the drugs, the DUI. Wait a minute, they could have hit him with a lot more stuff. He had no ID. He had no license plate, so that means his car is obviously probably not registered. False impersonation, the drugs, and he was under the influence as well. Yeah, Chico, you was asking to get, you were literally asking for that. If you under the influence of something and you got stuff on you, try to not, that's just like being in, being in a pen with the bull and me having this red shirt on. That's me asking for the bull to come after me. That's me telling the bull, hey, here I am, come and get me. He was asking for that one. Yeah, unfortunately, Chico was asking for that one. But again, like I said, I'm not making, this is not a laughing matter. I'm not joking. I just really wish they would get the help that the family needs it. Yeah, so we are gonna end this video, I guess. Actually, I want to give a because I don't really feel like doing no small talk. But this is a small story. Congratulations go out to K. Michelle. She has a new show that'll be on Lifetime. Let me know if you guys will be watching the show. I probably won't. But yeah, that's it, you guys. So leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification button so you guys are aware of when I drop anything else. Share this video. And until the next one, you guys, we do this every week, same time, same place, same channel. I will see you guys later for the other reviews that I'm doing tonight. Be sure to go subscribe to my planner channel. I will be posting a video soon. And remember, as always, you guys take care of yourselves, wash your hands, wear your mask, and socially distance, and we will get through this together. So until the next one, you guys, I'll see you guys later. Bye.